Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So Hare Krishna, dear Srila Gurudev, and Hare Krishna to all the assembled devotees. Please kindly accept my most humble obeisances. So we welcome you all for this third session of the online festival on Madhurya Kadambini. Actually, this whole program has been inspired from the book of Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj, Reflection from Sacred Teachings, Madhurya Kadambini, the causes of, we are concentrating on this section, the causes of distress. So just to give a brief introduction on what is actually Madhurya Kadambini. Madhurya actually means the sweetness of devotion, and Kadambini means a long bank of cloud that is actually showering this sweetness of devotion. So dear devotees, let us get ready to dive into this sweetness of devotion. And now, before actually beginning our session, we'd like to seek the permission and the blessings of our dear most spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti, dear Damodara Swami Maharaj. So Srila Gurudev, we kindly seek for your permission and blessings to start this session.
All right, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Srila Gurudev. So now we'd like to invite on screen His Grace Yogini Mataji, and she'll be guiding us towards the language interpretation side.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Hare Krishna, Gurudeva. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Bhakti Tirtha Swami. So today, dear devotees, the whole session will be in the English language, so just stay where you are listening to the floor. However, we do have language interpretation for Portuguese, so it's simultaneous translation for a Portuguese-speaking devotee, so I will now explain in the Portuguese language to them. Olá, Hare Krishna, queridos devotos, reverências. Para aqueles de vocês que queiram ouvir em português, nós temos a tradução simultânea. Então, basta vocês, se estiverem no desktop, cliquem no globo, no ícone do globo, no canto inferior da tela. E depois vocês vão ver um menu com algumas línguas. Então, escolham português. E depois vocês podem clicar em silenciar áudio original ou deixar aberto e aí vocês ouvem o fundo em inglês. Se vocês estiverem no celular, clique no ícone mais, ou seja, os 3 pontinhos. Depois clique no globo Language Interpretation. Depois vai abrir um menuzinho e vocês podem escolher, então, português. Ok? Muito obrigada. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, dear Yogi Mataji. Thank you very much for this very clarifying and detailed explanation on the language interpretation side. So now also we have the Ask Your Servant here. So if you devotees, if you need any kind of help or assistance, or you have some queries, please do not hesitate to contact via the chat our Ask Your Servant, and they will be very happy to help you throughout the whole session. And now let us take a quick look together at the schedule for today. So here it is on your screen. So first of all, we have a talk by His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj on the topic material attachment, followed by a very interesting debate, which is an activity done by two devotees. And then we have a second talk by Her Grace Vrajalila Devi Dasi on the topic feeling incapable or disinterested. And then finally, we have a very beautiful drama by the Mauritian devotees in order to entertain you all. So dear devotees, we hope that you will stay with us till the end of the program. Now, I would like to invite Srila Gurudev on screen. And as a matter of etiquette and respect, I would like to give a brief introduction on Srila Gurudev. So His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj is the first African sannyasi and spiritual master in ISKCON. He regularly teaches Bhakti Sastri and Bhakti Vaibhav courses at the Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education and the Mayapur Institute. He also facilitates numerous seminars on the practical aspects of Krishna consciousness, philosophy, such as community building, self-sufficiency, etc. He has also authored a book named Spiritual Connection to help the devotees understand the dynamics of the guru-disciple relationship. He's also preaching in many countries, like many countries in Africa, Brazil, in India, Mauritius and the Seychelles, and also the United States of America, to help the devotees and deliver the science of Krishna consciousness. So thank you very much, Srila Gurudev. And now we'll also have with us His Grace, a very kind-hearted devotee from Mauritius, His Grace Sundalachar Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu, to be here. Now we'll request Prabhuji, Sundalachar Prabhuji, to kindly offer a garland to Srila Gurudev.
Yes, Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my obeisance. I offer a Mahagarland from Shri Jagannath Baldev Sodar.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Thank you very much, Sundalachar Prabhu. So now, without further delay, I would invite Srila Gurudev to kindly begin his talk on the topic material attachment. Thank you very much. Let's pay attention, all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prisai Bhutale. Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Chinani. I will say Saraswati Devi. Gauravani Pracharini. Nirvise Sasunya Vadi. Vastatya Desatarini. Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshulamilitam Jana Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Savitam Jana Bhutale. Swayam Rupa Kadam Mahim Dadati Swapadantikam. Bandiham Sri Guru Sri Utapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sa Serupam Sagda Jahatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Sam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devan Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagadbhati Gopi Sai Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapakanchana Gorangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuvyaivacha Patitanam Pavanavyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Visvanatha Cakravarti Thakura Mahasaya Ki Jai. Shri Madhurya Kadambini Ki Jai. All glories to all the devotees present. So we continue our discussion from Madhurya Kadambini, revealing obstacles and discovering the solutions for all these different distresses or causes of distresses. And this was given to us by the divine grace of Visvanatha Cakravarti Thakura. So Visvanatha Cakravarti Thakura has so magnanimously come into this world from his residence in Goloka Vrindavan. For what? To warn us of the many obstacles on the royal path of devotion, and most importantly, to teach us very meticulously how to progress step by step in falling madly back in love with our worshipable Lord Krishna. We all have the choice of where we will repose our madness. We can remain mad for sense gratification, or we can become fully transcendentally mad. The devotees, let us invite the Kadambini to shower Madhurya on our external and internal environment, extinguishing the blazing forest fire of material attractions and attachments once and for all. So we have been looking at the causes of distress, which are 5. Yesterday, we have looked at avidya, nations, lack of true knowledge. And this morning, we'll look at asmita or hankara, false ego. And now we're looking at raga, material attachment. Raga, material attachment, which is the third cause of distress. Understanding raga, material attachment. In the lowest stage of our life, when we do not know what I am, I consider this body myself. This deluded conception of life that I am this body. This is deluded conception. And when we have got too much attachment for this deluded conception of life, that is called raga. Attachment to temporal things. It is Srila Prabhupada's purport in the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 11 purport. It's a lecture given in July 20, 1966 in New York City. So, material attachment, causes of material attachment, raga. What causes that? How does it begin? Everything has a beginning and an end. How do we begin creating the material attachment? The foundation is ignorance, avidya, maintained by false ego and maintained by raga, attachment. Bhagavad Gita location clearly explain how does this begin. Jayatu visayan pumsa sangate supadayati. Dhyayato visayan pumsa. Dhyayan means to meditate. On what? Visayan. Object of sense gratification. Once a person becomes what? Sangha, become attached to all the temporal things. So Krishna said, while contemplating the object of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. That is the beginning. Whatever we contemplate and we think of something, and we continue to look at something very carefully, and naturally, when we look at things very carefully, the mind will start analyzing how this thing is very wonderful for us. And intelligence will come and start planning how to get it. So there is a progression. When the mode of passion is increased, one develops the hankering for material enjoyment. Bhagavad Gita 14:7. What's the effect of raga, material attachment? Our suffering is due to our attachment. Because we are materially attached, we desire so many material things. And therefore, Krishna gives us the opportunity to enjoy whatever material facilities we want. Of course, we must deserve these facilities. This is from teachings of Kunti. That's the most important thing. We must deserve. We can have desire. That is okay. We can desire something. We can desire to have so many things. Although we desire to have so many things, we also need to deserve it. That is why we see differences in our existence. Someone is desiring many material facilities, but he's not getting it. At best, if you meditate too much, you'll get them in a dream. If you cannot have it physically, in a dream, while we're sleeping, the Krishna will allow us to have it in a dream. In a subtle way, we can experience it in that way. And some people, they have a little desire and they get everything. Why? They have worked for it in a past life. In a past life, they have worked seriously. What is going to be the present experience? So we see some people, they don't work as hard as people who are not having anything to eat or to keep themselves alive. Everything is a struggle. But at the same time, you see someone is sitting in office, someone is sitting in office with the cell phone, with all the wonderful facilities, and billions are coming in. Daily, billions are coming in. And someone else is loitering in the street, struggling, pushing the rickshaw or truck the whole day. Nothing comes. Only the sun and the heat you get. Why? Because we didn't work for it in the past life. So we may struggle for it seriously this lifetime. We may not get it, or we may get it after some time. But some people, just a little effort, they will get everything. Because they work for it. So as we desire and as we're praying for something, we should also consider if we deserve that. If we don't understand this point, that not only that we should desire something, we should also deserve it. If we don't understand this point, we will tend to hate God eventually. We'll be asking, God is not answering my prayers. There is nothing like God does not answer our prayers. All prayers are answered by God. All. Some are answered immediately because we deserve it. And some are not answered immediately because we don't deserve it at that time. But if we continue to desire that and work for it, eventually we'll get it. So Krishna answered all prayers. But depending on what we have done in the previous life to get it now or to get it later. So the effect of material attachment is that the mind is so absorbed. When the mind is so absorbed in reflections on sensual gratification that it appears like a screen to haunt the person. They are so engrossed in this mindset that they completely prevent them from benefiting from the devotional environment. Reflections 2, fourth shower. That we become so much absorbed in desiring sense gratification that we forget our devotional life. Therefore, I was experienced preacher like Srila Visvanatha Cakravarti said, you should have money so that you don't become money conscious. Instead of becoming Krishna conscious, you become money conscious. Instead of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We'll be chanting money, 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 money. during Hare Krishna mantra, is not more Hare Krishna mantra, money, 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 money. And even if you chant Hare Krishna, even if you are chanting Hare Krishna, actually in the mind, it is money, money, money. Means what? Means that we are chanting Hare Krishna to get money. That is how dangerous material attachment is. So what are the spiritual technologies to transform this material attachment? The material attachment we have, it is blocking our progress in Krishna consciousness. It is causing distress because if we are desiring seriously and it is not coming, there are so many things that are going to happen to us. One thing is that we're going to become envious of other people. We have it. Another thing is that we start planning, we become demonic in our approach towards getting it. Become very demonic. Either you take gun and shoot somebody to take the things, or you plan the devious way to cheat the person somehow or other to get the things, or you will even go in a very demonic way by making some sacrifice. Many people are doing that, making some sacrifice to get money. Why? Because of material attachment. Material attachment is due to false ego, and if false ego is due to ignorance, avidya, that is causing all these problems we're having. So Visvanatha Cakravarti Thakura has carefully analyzed these causes of distress, and we are going through it by the help of His Holiness, Srila Bhakti Swami Maharaj. Material attachment, very dangerous. So when you look at the Srila Prabhupada books, what do you see? Sense gratification, sense gratification, sense gratification, throughout the whole books. What would be wondering? What is he going to talk about Krishna Prem? Huh? Why? And we're going to talk about Krishna Prem when Prabhupada. Some devotees, when the Srila Prabhupada took them to India, so they were thinking, yeah, now Prabhupada is going to talk about Gopi relationship with Krishna. Boy, Srila Prabhupada was talking about Sri Swapanisa. I need to devotion. I know first instruction. Later instruction, this Swapanisa. And he was just teaching the same thing. We are not the material body. So devotees were, so we're wondering, now we should be talking about something different. But why Prabhupada is doing this? Because we have not had him yet. Because of our gross attachment or sense gratification, we have become blocked from hearing properly. The noise of sense gratification is too high in our consciousness. And the result of our sinful activities in trying to gratify the senses causes distress and blockage. That our attachment of Krishna becomes very small. So it's like a scale. If material attachment is very high, naturally our spiritual attachment is zero, it's down. If our spiritual attachment is very, very high, naturally our material attachment is low or zero. So there's a need for us to analyze the technologies that will help us to transcend this, to overcome this material attachment, this demon, raga, attachment. Of course, we shouldn't forget that there is also a spiritual attachment. The spiritual attachment is wonderful, it's great, and we should transform our material attachment into a spiritual attachment. That is bhakti. That is wonderful, and it is the original state of existence. To have spiritual attachment. Spiritual attachment. We need spiritual attachment. So we should practice developing spiritual attachment so that naturally material attachment will go off. So spiritual technologies to transform raga, material attachment. We have the choice of raising our level of consciousness by means of spiritual activities, or of allowing our spiritual spark to become extinguished in two ways. Two ways, as already mentioned. We can go deeply into spiritual Krishna consciousness, or can also go to other side, material attachment, and become materially conscious and lose our spiritual consciousness. So we have this choice. We have this choice. And our charters have given this knowledge so that we destroy the causes of distress, to be able to establish, to be reinstated in our original constitutional position as Krishna's parts and parcels. The first thing is to prioritize. Prioritize our eternal activities, our eternal consciousness over the temporal activities or temporal consciousness. Prioritize eternal over temporary. An eternal being who makes the material a priority will definitely feel miserable. That is natural. Natural. The reason why we are very miserable in the material world. It's not that many people are not getting facility for sense education. And if you look carefully, you'll see that people who are more miserable are those who didn't have the facilities for sense gratification. Why that? In the beginning, everybody think that if I have this, I'll be very happy. But at the end, after having it, we discover that we are not happy as we think. We are not. So why? What is the problem? We cannot be materially happy because we are not material beings. We are spiritual beings. Therefore, we can only be happy spiritually because that is our nature. Example is if a fish is taken out of water, you can make the fish a king, the higher post we are looking for in the material world. You can give the fish a Brahma's position. Not be happy, not be satisfied, because that is not the nature. Neither can we put the human being inside the water and make the person the king of the place. We'll be happy. No, because we are in a wrong environment. We're in a wrong environment. So we will remain miserable until we take to spiritual life, because that is our nature. Simply looking at food in a window cannot satisfy a hungry person. Someone may bring a large plate of artificial fruits and vegetables, but you cannot enjoy it. You may wonder, what is happening? I still feel weak and hungry. It looks so beautiful, but it is not nourishing. When people put excessive energy into the enjoyment of material attachment, they will feel great distress because these material pleasures do not give real stimulation. So why are we not happy, as we were mentioning before, even though we have the most? Even though we have the most, you have all the facilities. Why people who have the facilities are the most miserable people? Mr. Bill Gates, he has all the material facilities, powerful, beauty, powerful in wealth, powerful in fame, powerful in many things. What we are looking for, materially speaking, he has it. But he has a problem. Just to mention one, just one. There are many, but he has a problem. What is that? Mr. Bill Gates is lonely. Although there are thousands of people, they can just press a button and hundreds of servants will appear immediately with folded hands, ready to carry out any instructions that he may give. They are there, but he is lonely. What's the problem? He is spiritual, and all other facility, everything, including the servant who are human beings, they do not identify what is spiritual being. Therefore, they're separate. So he cannot be happy. He's lonely. Money cannot cover that. Prestige or fame cannot cover that. Nothing material can cover that because we are not material beings. His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj said, we are spiritual beings who are undergoing material experience, but majority of us are thinking that we're material beings who are trying to become spiritual. It's wrong. It's misunderstanding. Avidya. It's avidya. Why is it that the people who have the most material facilities, which everyone is looking for, not satisfied? Yes, separate things. I remember a few years ago, His Grace Ambarish Prabhu, he joined us in our safari preaching tour. It's a preaching program by His Holiness Swami Maharaj. So he joined us somewhere there in India. And one evening on our panel program, so he was one of the senior devotees on the stage. So before us, we have thousands of local people there who had come for the program. And Bharat Prabhu, and he spoke to all of us. He said, my dear brothers and sisters sitting here, let me tell you something. In terms of material sense gratification, in the matter of sense gratification, what do we consider the highest as far as material sense gratification is concerned? I am coming from the end. I didn't see anything there. So if you're intelligent, learn from me. I am coming from the end of sense gratification. I have gone through it to the end. I find it empty, and I'm coming back here to sit here with you with the duty. Like on my face, chanting Hare Krishna mantra. If there is something there, I would have been able to get it before you. So my dear brothers and sisters, please learn from me. Don't waste our time to go there, because it will take you time. And who is sure that you may go there and also come back like me? So I will consider myself fortunate by the mercy of my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada. So this is material attachment, sense gratification. It leaves everyone empty in this world. Everyone empty. Why? Because that is not for us. That is not for human beings. It is a misfortune. It's a misfortune. So, looking at the technologies, we should try not to entertain distraction. We should try not to entertain distraction. Get rid of it. Don't entertain distraction. The story of Bharat Maharaj vividly demonstrated the perils of maintaining material attachment, which keeps us bound to the cycle of birth and death. As a wealthy king who renounced all connections to his kingdom, Bharat Maharaj was a very exalted devotee. Nevertheless, while meditating in the forest, he became attracted to a deer. He became attracted to a deer. He didn't go to the forest to meditate on the deer. It's not a deer. He has gone to the forest to meditate. He has gone to the forest to meditate on Krishna. Along the way, he became distracted. So though he has abandoned what? The whole universe, he sacrificed that to go and pursue Krishna consciousness. On the process, he became attached to an orphaned deer. Now we are looking at Bharat Maharaj. We are looking at deer. Just wait a minute. Just a moment. Just give me a moment. Don't look at Bharat Maharaj thousands of years ago. Please don't look at Bharat Maharaj. Don't look at the deer. We should not. Why? Because that is not the point. Bharat Maharaj is just a mirror for us to see ourselves. He's a mirror for us to see ourselves because we are not so fortunate. Therefore, Krishna has to use his devotees to teach us many lessons. So don't look at Bharat Maharaj, don't look at the deer. We should look at ourselves. Even though he had given us so much opulence and security, a seed of material attachment remained in heart. This seed, fructified by his meditation upon the deer, caused him to think of the animal instead of Krishna at the time of death. Thus, Bharat Maharaj was forced to return to this world. Dhyayata visaya pumsaha. Dhyayata. Contemplating the object of the senses, meditating on the deer, even though we have given up so many things, coming to Krishna consciousness, we become attracted to so many things. So I say we should not look at the deer, we should look at ourselves. There are many devotees who will give up their Krishna consciousness if we don't have the potential we have now. Distraction. The position we have now is a distraction for some people. We may not see it because we are very much attached to material things. We may not have the fortune to see it. But majority of us, or many devotees, are attached to our position. We may not even realize it until that position is taken away. So I say we should not look at Bharat Maharaj, we should look at ourselves and see that we have a lot of distractions. Prestige, we're getting our Krishna consciousness. Prestige. We are getting a lot of prestige. Fame, we're also getting so many material facilities. This can be a source of distraction. It is not the activity itself. It is not the items we have in Krishna consciousness the problem. The problem is with us, that we have not been able to free ourselves from these distractions. So renunciation is not about the object. Renunciation is about our own true understanding, the purification of our heart. How much have we become free from material attachment? That also will determine how much less we will be distracted by the position we have today. Big positions, big name, big facilities. But many devotees have become very attached to this thing that we consider our position to be so great that we have meetings and conferences and forgetting 16 rounds. 16 round is forgotten. Why? We have very important meeting. Without us in that meeting, ISKCON will not exist. That is what we think. That is the danger of material attachment. ISKCON is existing because of me. So I attend this meeting, I attend that meeting, I attend this meeting, I attend it, but the whole day is gone without remembering that my 16 round is hanging. This morning at June Prabhu told us how Prabhupada is shouting. Who is chanting bead is suffering. Because the bead is hanging there. So sometimes you see that the bead back is hanging in the temple room. But nobody is taking nobody taking the bead from the the bead have been deposited on a corner for the beads. And nobody is taking the beads the whole day. The bead is hanging there. Why? Because we are so absorbed in so many other things, material attachment. We are so attached to so many material things that we forget to remember what has brought us to this Krishna consciousness in the first place. Distractions. We can leave this material distraction and also become distracted in Krishna consciousness if we are not careful. It is happening and it will continue to happen. Why? Because we have not learned our good lesson properly. Therefore, it is very important for us to discuss these distractions in Krishna consciousness. Learn how to dovetail. Should learn how to dovetail. Learn how to dovetail. One should learn how to dovetail everything in the service of the Lord, for everything is connected to Krishna. That is the real purpose of life and secret of success. This from Srimad Bhagavatam 4:30-19 purport. And His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj mentioned in the Leadership Book 1. Everything is eternally and consciously connected with Krishna. Everything. There is nothing which exists without Krishna. Everywhere are my hands and my feet and my face. Everywhere, Krishna's eyes, Krishna's ears, Krishna's head, Krishna's mouth, Krishna's hands and feet. In this way, the super soul exists, pervading everything. There is nothing which exists without Krishna. So Krishna's name is Vasudev. He exists in everything. So everything is consciously and eternally connected with Krishna. Even the dull material nature is connected with Krishna. The senses require real engagement, and if they are not engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, they will certainly seek engagement in the service of materialism. Lord Gita 262 purport. We should learn how to dovetail. Sarupa Goswami says that persons who are neophytes and who have developed a little love of Godhead are not interested in the activities of sense gratification in proportion to their devotion. But if there is still some attraction for sense gratifying activities, then the result of such activities should be offered to Krishna. This is also called engagement in the service of the Lord, with the Lord as the master and the worker as the servant. How do we do that in practice? Rupa Goswami mentioned in Nature of Devotion that we should learn to offer our favorite item, our favorite food to Krishna. So we should have some attraction for certain things. Rupa Goswami said we should not allow that to become a distraction. We should better offer that to Krishna and take the remnant. We will get purified. And eventually we'll come to the stage where we will be completely free from it. Let's see how beautiful Krishna consciousness is. Dovetailing, very, very important. How Srila Prabhupada got all this word is amazing. Dovetail. We've never heard of this word before. Dovetail. Yes. It is it difficult? Is it very difficult? Instead of thinking of that, I shall eat. If you think that God shall eat, so your eating process will not be stopped. But that's simply by thinking that God shall eat. You shall dovetail your desire with the Supreme. God wants to eat from you, and you want to give him eating. So your desire and God's desires is dovetailed. You become perfect. Now this is dovetailing. He, the fighting man, remained. The fighting man did not change into an artist or a musician. No. You need not change. You are a fighting man. You remain a fighting man. If you are a musician, you remain a musician. If you are a medical man, remain a medical man. Whatever you are, you remain, but dovetail it. Dovetail it. It's a lecture given by Srila Prabhupada in New York, 1966, April 8. Dovetail it. Just brings Krishna inside it. Even though in the beginning it is material, but that will be the source of our liberation. Dovetailing. Very powerful. We might have weaknesses, but we can find ways to dovetail them so that we can still stay in Krishna consciousness. We don't want to give up the royal part of devotion. We should not. We shouldn't sacrifice our Krishna consciousness for anything. We should not sacrifice our Krishna consciousness for anything, but we should sacrifice everything for Krishna. Everything. Dovetailing. Cultivate attachment to Sri Guru. Cultivate attachment to Sri Guru. To succeed in overcoming material attachment, it is important to develop a healthy attachment and dependence on Guru. One of the duties of a spiritual master is to destroy his disciples' doubts by superior knowledge, so that a disciple will gradually overcome all despondency in spiritual life. Every morning we are singing Sri Guru Charana Padma. So Natam Dasakura said, attachment to the lotus feet is a perfection that fulfills all desires. Attachment to spiritual master. If a disciple does not take proper shelter of Guru, he or she will again become attracted to material happiness, not having achieved the bliss of Krishna's association. Such a weak disciple will gradually become hopeless and discouraged in his or her attempt at self-realization, and will again become fascinated by the many temptations of Maya. Attachment to should develop attachment to Guru. We should have attachment to Guru. Why? It will bring perfection. It will bring all perfections. If you don't do that, we are going to become distracted. What is the shelter? What is the shelter? The shelter is the spiritual master, because the spiritual master is firmly Prabhupada. He is Prabhupada. He has taken shelter of the Supreme Prabhu, Master, Lord Krishna. Therefore, if you take shelter, for those who have taken shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna will be sheltered. And that is our immunization. That is our vaccine. I will not be affected by the material energy. Alone, I have no strength to chant the holy name of Krishna. Alone, I have no strength to overcome Maya. Alone, I have no strength, I have no intelligence. I have nothing, no single strength, even to the size of a sesame seed, to help myself. Therefore, Bhakti Thakura is teaching. I beg you, therefore, please, with the particle of little faith, give me the treasure of the holy name of Lord Krishna. Give me the treasure. Give me the treasure. You have Krishna. Krishna is your property. I'm running behind you begging, please give me Krishna. Give me Krishna. Please give me Krishna. Krishna is your property. Yeah, you have him. You have him. You have him. So you can give me. Please give me. You're begging. You're beggars. So we should cultivate attachment to Sri Guru. Pasangam ajaram pasam atmana kavayo vidu Saiva sadhusu krito mosa dharam apavritam. Every learned man knows very well that attachment for the material is the greatest entanglement of the spirit soul. But that same attachment, when applied to self-realized devotees, opens the door for liberation. Open the door for liberation. Attachment cannot be killed. It has simply to be transferred. Dovetailing. Transfer the attachment we have from material to Krishna or to Krishna's pure devotees. Transfer. This is the process. We should learn how to transfer our attachment. We cannot be free from attachment. We cannot be free from attachment. Either we are spiritually attached to Krishna, Krishna's pure devotees, or we are materially attached to material things. Attachment we cannot, because it's part of the soul. We must be attached to something. But those who are very fortunate are attached to Krishna only, and nothing else, only to Krishna. Attachment for material things is called material consciousness, and attachment for Krishna or his devotee is called Krishna consciousness. Consciousness, therefore, is a platform of attachment. It is clearly stated here that when we simply purify the consciousness from material consciousness to Krishna consciousness, we attain liberation. Despite the statement that one should give up attachment, desirelessness is not possible for a living entity. A living entity, by constitution, has the propensity to be attached to something. That we cannot stop. Bhagavatam 3:25-20 purport. What we attach to is the issue. That the problem is not attachment, but who we attach to, that is the issue. That is something we should consider very carefully. We should be attached to Krishna. We should be attached to Krishna. We should be attached to Krishna's devotees. We should be attached to Krishna consciousness. So attached to Krishna's service, attached to Krishna's holy name, attached to Krishna's paraphernalia, Krishna's abode, Krishna's everything should be attached to that. And that is the process. So Visvanatha Cakravarti Thakura is teaching us the process, how to detach ourselves from material attachment, which is the causes of all our distresses in the material world. So we have the summary of this topic, material attachment. Too much attachment for this deluded conception of life that is called raga. Raga or material attachment develops when we contemplate on the object of senses. Mode of passion increases our attachment to material enjoyment. Material attachment completely prevents us to take benefit of the devotional environment. Spiritual technologies to transform raga and material attachment is prioritize eternal over temporary things. We should not entertain distractions. We should learn how to dovetail everything. And finally, we should cultivate attachment to Sri Gurudev. Hare Krishna. Any comments, questions?
So Hare Krishna everyone. So we'd like to thank Srila Gurudev very much for his very enlightening lecture. Indeed, Srila Gurudev, you have shaken our consciousness with the topic of material attachment. So now we open the floor for questions. So devotees who are on Zoom, they can kindly raise their virtual hands in case they have any questions. They can also send their question in the Zoom chat and we'll read them for you. For our Facebook and YouTube viewers, you can send your question in this comment section and we'll read them for you. Thank you very much. Now is the time, dear devotees. Please do not hesitate. Clear your doubts and ask your questions. Okay, so we have Chitra Mataji who has raised her hand. So Mataji, you can unmute yourself and ask your question, please. Yes, please carry on, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I'm sorry. Chitra Prabhu, I'm sorry. Please can you ask your question, Prabhuji?
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, please accept my humble obeisance of Lord Krishna Prabhupada. Thank you for your wonderful lecture, which has in fact opened our minds. All right, please, my question is that when we're talking about attachment, especially in the aspect of money, nowadays the world economy, everything is affecting the world. Money, most of the time, even temple management, in our positions of service, we need money to serve Krishna. In cases where we need more money, even to serve Krishna, we need money to serve him so much. When can we say, in instance, the money necessary to serve Krishna, needed to serve Krishna is not enough, and we wish to get more money, even though we have not left Krishna consciousness, but we need more money. We want to get more money to serve Krishna, because what we want to use to serve Krishna is not enough, it's not befitting, right? We want to serve Krishna opulently. And because Krishna is supreme attractive, nowadays, even the karmis who are trying to join Krishna consciousness, when they come to your temple or they want to see that, oh, this place is a nice place, this place is a beautiful place, they are attracted to Krishna in that way, when we make fine things to Krishna. Remember, Prabhupada said that we should dress the deities nicely, we should dress them beautiful. That will attract them. That projects Krishna's attraction. So when we look at the way the world is going nowadays, we need more fine things to even to beautify Krishna's around. So sometimes the money needed to serve Krishna is not enough. We don't get enough, especially in our positions to serve as temple presidents and that. So in this way, when we try to go to get some work or to work along to get more money to serve Krishna, can it be said to be that it is an attachment? That is my question. Is it an attachment to let's say money, in trying to get more money to serve Krishna? Thank you.
To get money is not attachment. To get money is not an attachment. And it is not wrong to get money. We already quoted the Bhakti Thakura. We should get money so we don't become money conscious. So instead of chanting Hare Krishna, we'll be chanting money. So we should do japa, not money. So what is wrong is not the money. Srila Prabhupada never had enough money. He wanted more. He actually requested that he needed the whole money, the whole world. He needed the whole money, the whole world. That is the level of Prabhupada's greed to serve Krishna. She needed the money to serve Lord Krishna. So it is not wrong to do that. After all, Lakshmi is what? He is the servant of Narayan. So Lakshmi should be given to the husband, Narayan. There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong is when we are struggling to have money and forgetting that we have to chant Hare Krishna. It is wrong. And that is attachment. It's attachment. It is not for Krishna. Because if it is for Krishna, we would have time to do all the detailed and all our detailed activities, our sadhana will be also properly done. That is Krishna consciousness. That is not Maya. So we should look at it very carefully to see where Maya is coming in. What is our interest in Krishna consciousness? As we're looking for money, do we have the same attachment we have for money to Krishna? If it is wrong, then it is material attachment. Rupa Goswami already warned us that mundane things which are very difficult to obtain destroys bhakti. If we have to be careful about it. But to look for money is not bad. As we are looking for money, if it is for Krishna, we will not lose Krishna consciousness. If it's not for Krishna, then it is dangerous. That is the thing to be considered, or we should consider. All right.
Thank you very much, Srila Gurudev, for this very clarifying answer. We have a second question from Her Grace Sakivrinda Mataji. So Mataji, you can kindly unmute yourself and ask your question. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, you said sense gratification leaves everyone empty because it is not meant for human being.
Yes.
So if someone is attached to eating, how can it leave the person empty?
Someone is attached to eating. How will it be empty?
Yeah.
Yes, you are going to get overeating. You're going to get overeating, and also you're going to get sick. When you eat like a pig, you're going to get sick. But if we simply take, even if it is Krishna Prasadam, if you are not careful, you can get sick also. You get sick. Our body needs a certain, according to Patanjali in the yoga, our body has to be half, the belly should be half filled. 1/4 for air. The remaining 1/4 is for water. The remaining 1/4 is for air. If you violate that principle, even if it is prasadam, we are going to get sick. And that sickness is distressful, not blissful. Nobody gets sick and feel very happy. See, I'm enjoying my life. Wait, it's a distress. See, I'm very, very sick, and see, I'm very happy being sick, I'm getting a lot of injections all over my body. Acupuncture. If you have done acupressure treatment before, needles over your body. I don't know who enjoys that, but it comes from eating. So we should do things moderately. Everything should be moderately done. That's Bhagavad Gita. Don't eat too much, don't eat too little, don't sleep too much, don't sleep too little. Everything should be moderated. Then we'll be happy. All right.
Thank you very much, Srila Gurudev, for this satisfying answer. Now we have a third question from our dear Vraj from Canada. So Vraj, you can kindly unmute and ask your question. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. My question is, how do I transfer desire to remember Krishna, to Krishna consciousness?
Very good. Very good question from Raj. You simply have to associate with devotees. And if you associate with devotees, you'll be hearing about Krishna. That is simple. If you actually associate with devotee, you'll be forced to hear about Krishna. And if you hear about Krishna, you'll be attracted, you are attached to Krishna. It's natural. It goes like that. Yes, I remember Braj. I think I remember his parent, my friends from Mauritius.
Yes.
So yes, that is how our attachment will naturally transfer to Krishna, just associate with devotees. And devotees have the nature that they will be talking about Krishna. And when we continue to hear about Krishna, naturally you develop attachment for Krishna. You develop affection for Krishna. You would like to do some service for Krishna. You like to hear more about Krishna. And that is how you easily become Krishna conscious. Simply by associating with devotees. You get everything complete. Thank you for a nice question.
Thank you, Maharaj.
All right.
Thank you very much, Srila Gurudev, and thank you very much, Raj, for your very nice question. Our next question is from Pran Hari Prabhu. So Prabhuji can unmute yourself and ask your question. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for enlightening us since the morning. I know you are very tired. So I request you give me a short answer so that you further not get tired.
I am not tired.
I know the spiritual, I know you are so empowered by the Lord, but we get tired hearing. By hearing, we get tired. Maharaj, my question is that that we hear these all offices every day, and then it's also talks about like we should also detach from all this every day we hear, but we start the process, then we again engage. So it's like we can't completely move away from this attachment, material attachment. So what should we do, or what should we practice every day so that we completely, at a certain degree, we come out from this material attachment?
The way to be free from material attachment is to be attached to Krishna. And to be attached to Krishna, we have to attach to the devotees. Because for the devotees, we're going to hear nothing but about Krishna. That's how we transfer our attachment. Attachment we cannot give up because it is part of the soul. But transforming attachment is the point, the issue we are looking at. So that is a simple way to do it. There's no other way we're going to do it. Simply hear about Krishna, we will transfer our attachment to Krishna. Because that is how things works in this material world. We are attracted to something by hearing about that thing. That is why at the present time, the advertisement is forcing us to buy so many things which we don't need. Why? Because they constantly bombard our consciousness with the mundane things. You need this, you need this, you need this is very good. It's just because you don't have it. That's why the moment you have it, you are on top of the world. The next thing we are going for it. So as you say with devotees, we're going to hear that there is nothing in this world but Krishna, and nothing will make us happy in this material except we turn to Krishna. Except until we turn to Krishna, we are not going to get anything tangible, something wonderful in this world. Because this material world is meant for that. But only Krishna can solve all the problems. Only Krishna can help us. Only Krishna remains eternally with us. Only Krishna is eternal, and he will take care of us completely because everything depends on him. Even for sanctification, will depend on Krishna. Even for that, we depend on Krishna. So this is what we naturally hear or naturally get. Transference. material attachment to Krishna consciousness is by association with the devotees. We already discussed that we should be attached to the spiritual master. Because the spiritual master is attached to Krishna, we naturally have attachment for Krishna. Cannot be otherwise. If he is a spiritual master, proper would say bona fide spiritual master. Attachment to a bona fide spiritual master will naturally attach to Krishna. Because that's why, what makes him bona fide? Because of his connection with Krishna. That is the way to go about it, Prabhu. You develop attachment for a spiritual master who will be transferred to Krishna. All right, thank you very much.
Yes, Maharaj, thank you very much for awakening me on this answer. Just one more small question. Maharaj, as you know that, and we know that little bit that that the Paramatma is sitting in our heart, right? Where the Atma. So when we take some material, gratification, something which is basically out of from the Krishna consciousness, like we go sometime out and we forget and we look for our sense gratification. So how the transformation happened from that Paramatma is pushing us not to enjoy it or not to go in that particular path, or why the soul doesn't understand and why it is not transferred to our senses?
It is because of our level of covering our material energy. There's no time the super soul is not speaking to us. There's no time the super soul doesn't speak. There's no time the spiritual master doesn't speak. They are always talking to us, but we don't hear because we are spiritually weak, materially very strong. We're spiritually weak, materially strong. Our senses our desire for gratifying the senses is very, very strong. And when that happens, our spiritual life will also be weak. Those who have a strong spiritual will, they have a very weak material, very weak, very, very weak. It will not have any meaning to them. They will overlook it. Even if there is the agitation is in the body, they will not mind it. They will not mind it. It is nothing. They won't consider it. But if we are spiritually weak, every little thing will become a very big issue for us. And that would knock us completely off. We'll forget about the super soul talking. We'll go for what the demonic mind tells us to do. That is what we'll go for. Yes. Therefore, we should hear regularly from the devotees. Yes. All right, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Srila Gurudev, for this very beautiful answer. Yes, thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your question. Yes, so we take our last question for today is from Jananda Prabhuji. So Prabhu can unmute yourself and ask your question. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Please accept my humble obeisances as a dust of lotus feet. Guru Maharaj, how can we distinguish, or what are the signs and symptoms of a devotee who is like material attached? How can we distinguish such a devotee?
A devotee who is material attached will have very less interest in Krishna consciousness. He gives priority. You don't see him regularly in a program. He pursuing his sanctification. So he's less attracted to Krishna. Oh, Prabhu, we are not seeing you for the whole month in the temple. I'm very busy, I'm very, very busy. You're busy chanting Hare Krishna mantra? No. You're busy studying Bhagavatam? No. You're busy reading Bhagavatam? No. You're busy doing what? I'm just busy with my job. It's not difficult to understand this. Busy with material things. He doesn't remember Krishna as much. If one have attraction for Krishna, if one is making advancement in Krishna consciousness, you'll be attracted to Krishna, you'll be attached to Krishna. Anything one is attached to, you will be thinking of that thing 24 hours. Anything we are attached to. So if we are attached to Krishna, we are just waiting. When is the next time for me to go to the temple? When is the next time for me to go to the temple? When is the next time for me to go to the temple to do my service, to do my japa, to do my reading, to do my hearing? That is a sign that one is attached to Krishna. And when you're not attached to Krishna, those things doesn't make any sense. The moment you see someone is talking about material thing, you're not talking about spiritual thing. Anything that comes out from his or her mouth is material, nothing to do with Krishna. He would never ask you a question about Krishna. You simply were talking about, oh, this is not going well. Oh, that is not going well. Oh, this one is like this. This one had done this. This one had done that. See what's happening like this. See this GBC. See the guru. See the devotees. See the this and that. He would never tell you, oh, I was just reading Bhagavatam and Krishna is just amazing. Krishna is so wonderful. Krishna is so wonderful. How Krishna married 16,000 queens in one day. That is amazing. Since I read this, I've been thinking about it. It's amazing. Not only that Krishna expanded himself into 16,000 Krishna. He is Krishna. When Krishna comes out from his palace, 16,108 Krishnas coming out from the palace. As soon as he comes out, it becomes only one Krishna going to his office. When he's in his office, it's just one person. But when he comes back again, when they get to his palaces, the one person becomes 16,108. I'm just amazed. I'm just enjoying this. That's how you know a devotee. If we don't speak like this, means what? We're materialistic devotee. This is how we know a devotee. Listen to what comes up from his or her mouth the whole day. Whenever I meet somebody, just wait and hear what I'm going to discuss. What is going to be the object of discussion? The moment you meet a devotee, if from there you know who is who. It's not difficult. I'm sure by now your man is already going around so many devotees. Now you got the formula, now you're measuring all the devotees have met today. What kind of thing we have discussed? Oh, okay, now this matters like that. Oh, okay, now I understand. Hare Krishna. It's not difficult to know who is who. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
So thank you very much, Srila Gurudev, for all these very beautiful and satisfying answers. And I also thank all the devotees who have asked very pertinent questions for the benefit of themselves and everyone. And now just to summarize whatever you said, and for the devotees who have just joined us, some few points that I have noted, which are very nice. So Gurudev mentioned in his lecture that the nose of sense gratification, our consciousness, is causing a blockage. We should transform our material attachment to spiritual attachment. One should not only desire something, but also should deserve something. And material attachment makes us become envious and demoniac. And also we cannot be materially happy because we are not material beings, but spiritual beings. Srila Gurudev gave the perfect example of the fish out of water. And also, last one, material facilities doesn't make us happy. Srila Gurudev gave the perfect example of Bill Gates, who has all the material facilities, but he's very alone. So thank you very much, all the devotees, for attentively listening. And now our next item is a very unique one and very interesting one in the sense that it has not been done in our online program before. So here it is. We have a very interesting item, a live debate by two of our devotees, His Grace Sukadev Prabhu and His Grace Madhusudan Vishnu Prabhu. So these two devotees will be debating on the topic of material attachment. So let us all enjoy this very powerful debate and then we will comment. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, please accept my humble greetings and Madhusudam Vishnu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Sorry. Okay, so Prabhu, if I'm to understand you correctly, you are saying that I should not be attached to anything. But now, how can you say I should not be attached to anything? If Krishna created me and put me in this world, and he gave me family, he gave me money, he gave me house, he gave me things. So how do you say I should not be attached? Because I'm a human being, and being a human being, I operate with my emotions. So what do you mean by don't be attached? What do you mean by that?
Thank you, Prabhu. I am not saying so. His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Maharaj is saying so. So after hearing that lecture, still you are confused. That's quite interesting. But actually, it's a nice question you brought up, and I appreciate that. You mentioned Krishna put you in this position, but my dear friend, Krishna did not put you in this position. You landed up in this position by your mistake. So if Krishna put me in this position, then I can say, yes, all these things are good for me, but I landed up in this position by my mistake.
In this position by my mistake. Now, if you don't mind me stopping you there, I wouldn't say, yeah, okay. If you say I landed here by my mistake because of the activities I have done in my past life, okay, we understood. I understand that. But then I am trying to make myself better, because it is by making mistakes that you get to learn more better things. From making one mistake, you get to learn to be more better. So I'm trying to make myself better by doing nice charitable activities, giving donations, giving to the poor, feeding the needy. So doing all of these things, well, Krishna even said, do things according to your swar dharma, right? If my swar dharma is to be able to earn money and give money to people, so is that not also my source of liberation? Is that also going to give me liberation? So why should I have to, give all my money to the temple for me to be able to get liberation?
Thank you, Prabhu. So you mentioned the word Swadharma, which means you have studied Bhagavad Gita as it is. If you look at the definition of Swadharma, Srila says there are two definitions to it. One is dharma related to the body and another is dharma related to the soul. Now let me ask you one question. You claim yourself to be a Vedic astrologer, right?
So they say.
Yeah. So that means you accept the Vedas, right?
I believe so.
So then you accept the existence of soul, isn't it?
So they say.
No, you accept it.
So you say.
So when you accept that you are spirit soul, and then there is a dharma for the spirit soul, and that is our true dharma. And the dharma which is related to the body is temporary. So it's not said that we should not look after a temporary dharma. What is said is that we should not make our temporary dharma a permanent dharma. So material attachment is there, no doubt, but it should not be the only thing. It should not be the priority. As you said, you are trying to get out of it. So then if you're trying to get out of it, why cling to it?
But how do you know, how do I get to the point of, okay, I need to worship the soul, or I need to, do the eternal dharma, if I don't understand the temporary dharma, which is the dharma of the body? For me to be able to do the dharma of the soul, I should understand the dharma of the body properly. And one of the way of understanding the dharma of the body properly is part of earning money, being in an administrative position, and doing some certain humanitarian activities, or even as a grihasta in a household life and doing some dharma. So you can't just jump to start doing dharma of the soul without not understanding and perfectly performing the dharma of the body. What do you have to say about that?
Very true. If we jump, then we'll land down and fall on our head. So that's why we do not jump. We need to take baby steps, climb the staircase. We need not jump. Now, as you mentioned, we have a dharma related to the body. Now, the word dharma is also again taken from the Vedas, and the same Vedas talk about the soul. So we should accept both the things, not just one part of it. So the other part is I am spirit soul. Just like I have a material body, I'm spirit soul. There's a dharma for the body and there's dharma for the soul. So we accept that. And we try
to quote from the science of self-realization. I read there that Srila Prabhupada said that you cannot understand the soul without not understanding the body. How can you understand that you are a spirit soul if you don't understand that you are a sentient being, a human being. How can you understand that? So now, speaking about dharma of the soul and everything like that, we need to understand, because you are trying to tell me that I need to be more to be more spiritually attached to be able to get God's mercy, or to be able to get Krishna's mercy. But also, I'm also understanding here that, okay, before getting to that point, I need to understand my body. I need to understand my purpose first, right?
Okay, thank you. I don't know where we are quoting that statement from Prabhupada's self-realization, science of self-realization. But
Yeah,
I doubt, but I
Yeah,
doubt Prabhupada would say that you have to understand you are the body. Even animals know they are the body. You don't have to understand about it, anything about it. They already know it. So we know that I am the body. We easily know that. Like a person who is in a man's body knows that he's a man, and a person who is in a woman's body knows that that person is a woman. So we already know that. That is not something to be understood. The idea is we need to understand what is our true identity, which is given in the scriptures. And when we say we should get free from material attachment, please try to understand, Prabhu. The material attachment is like a covering on the soul, and we have to uncover our true identity. And that's why we have to get free from material attachment. As long as we stay entangled in material attachment, we remain covered. It's just like, I'll give you an example. Srila Prabhupada used to give this example, taking from Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that if, let's say, you cling to a tree and hold it very tight, and then you tell the tree, leave me, leave me, leave me, leave me. So then it's your problem, because you're trying to cling to the tree. Likewise, I'm spirit soul and I'm full of happiness. I am meant to enjoy, by serving God. When I try to come back to that identity, I need to free myself from material attachments, which is clinging me to the body. And that's why we don't tell you that you should just give up or give away all material attachments right away. We're telling you that you dovetail them in Krishna's service.
Yeah, but you just said right now, if I'm quoting you correctly, that I am a spirit soul. I'm meant to enjoy.
Yes, you are meant to enjoy by serving. I said that.
But also enjoy, but to
no,
get to
don't take half of the statement.
I'm meant to enjoy. So if I enjoy money, or if I enjoy family life, how is that binding me? If I'm a spirit soul and my nature is naturally to enjoy, how am I responsible for that?
The point is, we need to enjoy in cooperation. Like someone say, I can enjoy the money. You can enjoy the money by engaging that money in Krishna's service. You can have a good family life by engaging your family members in Krishna's service. And that will also give enjoyment. We are not against enjoyment, Prabhu.
I'm not saying, but I'm just quoting you. You say that.
You're misquoting me. I told it, enjoy by serving.
Okay. So now, also, I was, from the discussion that has been going on, we've been hearing so many wonderful, interesting things. And part of it was one of the questions I was asked today. We're like, okay, so we need not to be too much attached to material things, and also to attach to finance and everything. But you also see that the temple is running after money so much. Book distribution, Sankirtan, Food for Life, so many programs they are doing. Can all this program go on without no money? And now, if people like me are not there to make the money, how will the activities go on? So one way or the other, you can't blame me that I am trying to make money, or I'm being too attached to money, when I also see that in the temple, they can't survive without the money that I have to make. So what do you have to say in regards to that?
People may run after money for Krishna, then there's no problem. If we run after money for Krishna's service, then that is not personal attachment, that is attachment to Krishna. It's just like if you're a family man, either you can run after money just for yourself, or you can run after money for your wife and children. Isn't it? Two different things. So here, you run after money for Krishna's service, not for yourself. We have to run after, things. Arjuna was also asked to run after the enemies and chase them and kill them. So the idea is that we set the goal properly. If we know the goal properly, anything can be dovetailed in Krishna's service. That's the idea. Money is not bad. Money is not bad. Who said money is bad? Money is, in Sanskrit, money is called Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is to be enjoyed by Narayan. Money is not bad. But then we have to use Lakshmi in Narayan's service. That's the whole idea.
If we, like you said, if we set the goal and if we know the goal, right? Now, based on preconditioning, let's say based on preconditioning from past life, or based on preconditioning from the things of activities that I've done in my past life, well, it is not just like in a classroom. It is not all the student that is there in the classroom that is going to understand everything that the teacher is saying immediately. Some of them, it will take them after so many failures, or after so many sitting in the classroom, the subject matter being repeated again and again for them to understand. While there are some students that in the very first subject matter itself, they already understood the essence of everything. Now, based on conditioning, again, I'm repeating, based on conditioning, if I am so much engrossed in trying to make money or in trying to gratify my senses and everything, is that bad?
It's bad. It's bad in ultimate sense. You're wasting your time.
But like I said again, in classes, this is not all the student that is going to understand everything that is being said immediately. So
that's why we're giving you some time.
It is bad means that you are trying to judge me, right? But that is not the duty of you.
We are not trying to judge you. We are trying to show you the right thing. Now you say, let me explain it to you in this way. If there is a school and there are a batch of students, some students may be underperformers and some might be good performers. Like you mentioned, some can understand immediately and some may not understand immediately. So if the teacher is correcting the one who is not performing well, the teacher is not judging that person. The teacher is correcting that person, encouraging that person. And it's also the teacher is very patient with that person will take his time or her time. So in Krishna consciousness, people are given their own time. We don't say you take sannyas or otherwise you get out of the society. We don't say that. We say
why do you say don't be like the karmis? What does that mean then?
The karmis means those who are totally not at all interested in spiritual life. If someone is interested 5%, that's also very nice. 1%, that's also okay. But 0%, that's not at all okay. Right?
I am happy with your explanation, but not fully satisfied, but I'm happy with your explanation.
No problem.
I would love to talk to you more.
If you are not satisfied, we have His Holiness Bhakti Damodara Maharaj. He will satisfy you. Okay,
thank you very much.
Prabhu,
God bless you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your wonderful explanation. Nice debate.
Thank you, Maharaj.
So Hare Krishna, dear devotees, that was indeed a very powerful and awesome debate. I hope that you enjoyed it a lot. I personally enjoyed it a lot. And I feel that this is going to help me in my preaching. And also there was so much learning in this, and also it was so much so wonderfully presented. So here we see that His Grace Sukadev Goswami Prabhu, he took the role of a materially attached person, and he was placing so much heavy arguments in favor of material attachment. And on the other hand, we can see that His Grace Madhusudan Vishnu Prabhuji, he defeated all these arguments with a quotation from the Shastra and all. So thank you very, very much. And in a summary, we can say that material attachment, ultimately, it can be purified by transforming it in the spiritual attachment. And ultimately, all material things can be engaged in Krishna's service to make it spiritual. So now, I would like to thank you all for being a very attentive and wonderful audience. And now I would like to hand over the screen to our dear sister, Her Grace Pragati Mataji, and she will be your MC for the rest of the program. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and thank you so much, Prabhuji. That was really engaging and nourishing first part of the session that we had. And going ahead, I'm sure that you all are just going to have so much more insights to this wonderful topic that we have, and we're getting drenched in this wonderful shower and outpour of devotion and love in this wonderful association. So going ahead to the next section of our program, for the devotees who would have just joined into the session, if in case you need any technical assistance or support, we have Ask Your Servant in the chat box. So you can type in your queries or assistance for anything that you need assistance on, you can type out to them. And we're very grateful today to have someone, a very special guest who is there with us for the second global online event and who's very kindly agreed to come yet again, Her Grace Vrajalila Mataji. So a quick introduction about Mataji. Mataji has joined ISKCON New York in 1979. And in her first years of service, Mataji found herself to nurture and care for new people and was pretty much involved in creating communities. So to speak of Mataji's services in ISKCON, Mataji has assisted in pioneering ISKCON temples throughout West Africa, very actively served in the development of IFAST, which is the Institute for Applied Spiritual Technology, which was founded by His Holiness Bhakti Swami Maharaj. Mataji has been very actively also been working on the development of the GBC Devotee Care Committee in Mayapur, whilst co-authoring the Devotee Care Course Manual. Mataji is currently residing and serving in Gita Nagari Farm along with her husband, His Grace Ekavira Prabhu. Whilst being engaged in all of these services, Mataji believes that caring for each other spiritually, emotionally, and physically is the foundation of exemplary couples and exemplary families. And we are very, very grateful and thankful to Mataji that today she'll be speaking on the topic feeling incapable or disinterested. And to all of Mataji's presence and as a token of love and appreciation towards Mataji, I request our God sister, Navkishori Mataji, with their Jagannath Baldev and Subhadra Darshan from Mumbai, to kindly offer garlands to Mataji on behalf of all of us. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Please accept this Jagannath Mahaprabhu. Mataji, we request you to unmute, and now this screen is all yours. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you, Pragati. And of course, I want to thank His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj for inviting myself and Ekavira Prabhu to be a part of this amazing global Sangha. It is definitely very inspiring and very nourishing to be with all of you. Last time I was with you, it was just wonderful to see how many different kinds of programs all of you had developed to make this global Sangha a real success. It was just so beautiful. And so I'm looking forward this time for, I believe Mauritius is the host, is it? So this is really exciting. It's so exciting that Maharaj is going in different parts of the world and inspiring devotees to really embrace Krishna consciousness. So thank you so much, Maharaj. I also want to thank Namasharanya, who's been amazing connection back and forth. She was making sure that I was aware of all the timings of everything. And so I'm thanking you, Namasharanya. And I don't see you here on my screen. However, I want you to know that, your logistics of how you approach things is very endearing. Thank you very much. Thank you from my heart. Haribol. So I'm going to start with a prayer to my spiritual. Yeah, you're welcome to my spiritual master. Om Gyanata Mirandasya Gana Gana Shalakaya Chakshiro Malitamyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Lambakate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarnam. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastai Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pashatyadi Shatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vastai Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Tirtha Swami Tinamane Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shitatmane Shri Gaura Karana Shakti Bhakti Tirtha Iti Namane Hari Hari. So I have a little light in the back of me, I see. And I'm trying to move past this light. Yeah, if you don't, okay, I think, let's see if we can do this without this little light. Anyway, so I am excited. I'm so very excited. I want to thank Maharaj for his amazing presentation that he gave on attachment and how to be attached to Krishna. And I also want to thank, I believe his name was Avesh Rupa Prabhu, the first MC, for summarizing what Maharaj said so beautifully. Yeah, everybody worked together. This is the most beautiful aspect of Krishna consciousness, is how, you know, everyone, the guru worked together with the disciples and the disciples worked together with the guru to make a beautiful offering ultimately to their gurus and in the line of parampara. So thank you so very much. I was requested, well, I chose this topic, and I'm really happy I chose this topic after seeing that little debate. So this is kind of exciting. You both did so well, actually. You know, when I was listening to the both of you, I was kind of torn. I was feeling torn because I was like, oh yeah, you know, he's really explaining material conditioning. And Madhusudan Prabhu and I guess Sukadev, is that your name? And then Madhusudan. Yeah, you're representing the devotee aspect quite nicely. And now I'm going to come in with a bomb because, yeah, you know, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he trained us to understand both sides of each aspect of how we live in the world and also how we aspire for Krishna. And so in this Madhurya Kadambini, we are speaking about feeling incapable, one of the obstacles to nishta, to being steady in devotional service. And so there are 5 obstacles to having this steady platform. And so one of them, which is the one I chose to speak on, is feeling incapable or disinterested in hearing and chanting. And I chose that title because I was firstly attracted to that word feeling. And I know that most people, you know, when they hear that word, feeling, oh, it brings up, you know, in the consciousness, many different layers of how we think about feelings. But here we see that word is being used by Visvanatha Cakravarti in the shower. So one point that was really important to me is hearing from Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma, he says that one can directly see God. One can see Krishna. He says that when the mind and the eyes are purified and saturated with Krishna praying. So this is when we can see Krishna. And we are learning about all these different steps for reaching Krishna praying. So I believe yesterday, I apologize that I was not able to be here. I had a workshop in South Africa. And so it was at the same time. So I'm guessing yesterday you covered some of these first steps, and you will continue to speak about some of these steps before we arrive to this fourth shower. And so Brahma says this, and I'm gonna do my best to read the Sanskrit. I know some Sanskrit, not so much, but everyone knows this because it's from the Brahma Samhita. Premanjana Chakrita Bhakti Vilochena Santa Sadaiva Ride Yeshu Vilokayanti. This is Lord Brahma speaking. And we understand as Gaudiya Vaishnavas that we're aspiring for the topmost. That's definitely our goal. We're aspiring to have this amazing relationship with Krishna. Almost kind of like, it seems sometimes a little bit inconceivable. However, it's not. It's very conceivable and it's very attainable. And we heard that from His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj. So this Radha Krishna, this praying that we're all aspiring for as Vaishnavas, it's quite confidential, very confidential. And we are very fortunate that Srila Prabhupada, that he came to the West to really give us an opportunity to enter into this transcendental realm that is so confidential. Most people cannot really understand what it means to have a relationship a real relationship with God. And we understand that there are different relationships that even a person can have. So this perfection of praying almost seemed lofty. It almost seems to us like, is it possible, right? Is that Sukadev? I hope I'm saying your name properly, Prabhu. Sukadev Goswami. Is that your proper name? Please correct me. Pragati, please give me the proper name of Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. That's right. Shukadev.
Is there Goswami on the other as another part of his name?
So his name is Sukadev Goswami Das.
Sukadev Goswami. Thank you, Maharaj. So yes, Sukadev Goswami, this is the consciousness of most people in the world, right? Because this Krishna prema it's not really so available for most people. It seems so lofty. It just seems like, how is it possible to really have a relationship with God, to have a relationship with Krishna? And, you know, Srila Prabhupada, because of his kindness, he came and gave us a window. And he says, yeah, look, you open this window by hearing and by chanting, and then the door will become open. There's the door that will let us enter into this beautiful, what seems inconceivable understanding of Krishna prema. However, before we get there to Krishna prema, it's really important to understand that there is an effort on our part. And of course, Maharaj spoke about the mercy of the spiritual master. So we cannot eliminate the fact that on our own, whatever effort we may do, we need the mercy. We definitely need the mercy to be able to really imbibe within ourselves this understanding of the ultimate perfection of our lives. And so this requires sacrifice. It requires dedication. It requires determination. It requires patience. It requires enthusiasm. These are we need to continually be able to express within ourselves and for others these different aspects of this principle of wanting to love God. And this could take many lifetimes. Actually, Prabhupada said it can happen in 18 days, definitely. However, it can also take many lifetimes. Yes, we are aspiring for this true spiritual success. And in Kali Yuga, we know that Lord Chaitanya, he gave us the holy names to chant. And we know that we can take Krishna Prasadam and we can dance and we can honor Krishna Prasadam. And we know that these are some of the entrance through that window, as I said. Prabhupada gave us a window, and as we do those things, we get an entrance. We get an understanding of what is in the door by us having this, you know, experience of chanting, this experience of calling on the Lord, of hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, of taking prasadam. At the same time, when we're doing all of these things, if we're not doing it in pure consciousness, then it's not so easy. It's easy. Prabhupada says it's simple for the simple. However, in Kali Yuga, most people are not very simple. And so it's easy as we are progressing on the path, it becomes easier and easier. And so when we reach the stage of anartha nivritti, Prabhupada explained somebody could stay in that stage for lifetimes, anartha nivritti. However, when we move from that stage of anartha nivritti, then we come to this stage that we are sharing with today, which is nishta, which is steady, becoming steady in our devotional service. And that's an aspiration for the bhakta. That's an aspiration for the devotee. We all want to become steady in devotional service. Why do we want to become steady? Because we understand that the more we get tossed back and forth in anartha nivritti, we suffer. And so we don't want to keep suffering. Why? Because suffering gives us pain. Does anybody like pain? Does anybody here that like pain? I don't think so. None of us like pain. So we're all trying to avoid pain. However, one of the funny things about human beings is that the thing that we try to avoid the most is the thing we really engage in the most activities to give us that thing. For example, we don't want pain. However, we do want to enjoy materially, as Sukadeva Swami Prabhu said. We want to enjoy materially. Now, when we approach this platform of Nishta, Prabhupada says it is a gradual process. He says cleansing the heart is a gradual process. It does not happen abruptly. It doesn't happen abruptly. Srila Prabhupada explains, Krishna consciousness is a gradual process of realization and purification, which is why His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj has so kindly developed this program to help us all to understand the stages that we need to go through in order to get this deep understanding of Krishna Prema. This is so wonderful that he is engaging all of the devotees to know, like, Krishna consciousness is not cheap. Prabhupada says it's not cheap. And these stages, they're there. Visvanatha Cakravarti has given them to us so that we can understand where we are in this process of Krishna consciousness. Where are you? And this is what I want to focus on today, is where are you in this process of devotional service? So Srila Prabhupada explains that we always need to introspect. We always need to take inventory within ourselves. This is key for a devotee. It's key that we understand, how are we advancing? How are we progressing? Yes, we have all of the principles given to us in Sastra. And His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj talked today so nicely about attachments and how material attachments can keep us in that suffering, keeps us having this pain, right? And so Visvanatha Cakravarti, he has given us, if we're desiring to be steady, if we want to be steady in our Krishna consciousness, it's really important to look at some of these obstacles that can be there. Even though we are moving, we're progressively moving forward, we're chanting, hopefully without offenses, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam enthusiastically and submissively. We're serving the spiritual master with inquiry. I saw that there was questions, the time for questions, and I saw that everyone was a little maybe timid to ask questions. And this is part of the process, is to be able to inquire from the spiritual master. This is a glorious part of the process. And so we see that even when we do these things, and we try to do them to the best that we can, and even when we're getting mercy for them, there is still some obstacles that could be there. And there are 5 obstacles, and I'm focusing today on this obstacle of apratipati, which is feeling incapable or disinterested in hearing and chanting. Visvanatha Cakravarti says, and so on. So many things can be there as a distraction. Maharaj talked about distraction, right? So this is an obstacle. And it's also explained to us that in these obstacles, in all of these different showers that we're studying over this weekend, that every aspect of the shower, there are material desires. For example,
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm sorry, I think your mic got muted. Can you unmute yourself? Thank you.
Okay. So in this stage of developing faith, trying to understand Krishna, there is 85% of us who still want to enjoy material. There's 15% of us that is dedicated to Krishna, that is really fully dedicated to Krishna. So there's 85% that really still want some Maya. What can I say? I'm still interested, in wanting to enjoy. And then, we work as we take shelter of the spiritual master, as we take shelter of all the processes that's been given to us in the scriptures, as we take shelter of the principles that's given in the Sastra, then we start becoming more and more purified. And then as we desire, as Mara shared, as we start desiring to really kind of get away from the pain and become more steady in devotional service, 75% of our anarthas, they become destroyed, 75% in this gradual process. However, even in the stage of Nishta, at this stage of Nishta, of steady devotional service, there's still 25% that's engaged in material life, that's engaged in Maya, even in that steady stage. And actually, even when we come to this stage of bhava, there's still 5%. So in each and every one of these stages, there is always still some tinges of material desire. Now, of course, the spiritual master has got our backs, right? That's the reason why we take initiation, as the spiritual master is caring and nurturing and reminding us and helping us, as His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj did this morning, so that we can come to that place where 100% focused on Krishna. Don't forget, it is a gradual process for most, maybe not for any one of you on this call today, but for most people, it is. Most people. So this point about the tendency to feel incapable, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you, when you hear this, Visvanatha Cakravarti says that you are maybe not so interested, or you may feel incapable, in hearing and chanting. When this happens, and let's be honest, it happens to everyone, and maybe not, I'm sure not Bhakti Dhira Damodara Maharaj, but it does happen. When you are disinterested, for whatever the reasons may be, I want to just hone in on what Visvanatha Cakravarti is teaching us. We feel incapable. When you are thinking that you are incapable of let's say, chanting without offenses, or you're incapable of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam without doubt, when you're wanting to serve the spiritual master without some envy or disturbance or jealousy, these all things come up, in as you try to serve. So when you are feeling some of these things, let's just look at incapable. What feelings are you actually having? And I'm going to give you 5 primary feelings. There are 5 primary feelings that most human beings go through. These primary feelings, you could say from the debaters, that we have, they are related to the body. However, guess what? These 5 primary feelings are also related to the soul. They're related to the soul in the perfected stage of serving Krishna. And so why do we focus? Why do you think Visvanatha Cakravarti gave us this understanding about feeling incapable? Because yes, in the body, we do need to address these feelings. And His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he has given us some of these feelings and why we might engage, in this mood of being incapable, being disinterested. And I just want to bring this to your awareness for those of you that may not be so aware. So in the chat, I want you to write what feelings may come up for you when you think you're incapable. 5 feelings: mad, sad, glad, which is like happy, right? Afraid or shocked. Those are the 5 primary feelings. Mad means anger. We all get angry at times for different reasons, right? Believe it or not, this affects our devotional life. We're glad means we're happy. We're happy. Sometimes we get a little glimpse of happiness, real happiness. Sad many devotees are simply sad because of things that have gone on in their lives. Actually, to be honest with you, many devotees, because I am a devotee that is working with devotee care, they're not just sad, they are actually depressed. So afraid, so many devotees have fears and shock that, oh, do I really have to do this? Really? So I want you to write in the chat which one of these feelings come up for you when you hear Visvanatha Cakravarti says we have these feelings of being incapable. We think we're incapable. So I'm just waiting for you to put this in the chat. Mad, sad, okay. Don't be shy. There's a way actually that you can be anonymous. Okay. All right. Thank you so very much. Now, but His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj has explained to us why we have these feelings. Thank you so much. Madhusudan Vishnu Das. Sad. Wow. Let's look at that. Okay, glad. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And these feelings, please, they're there in the body. Yes, they're there in our physical body, in our emotional body, in our social body, and they're also there in our spiritual body when we reach perfection. There's a difference though. When we have them in our material body, it's usually focused on us, me, mine. When we have them spiritually, they're focused on Krishna. There's something that is going on with Krishna. So we want to understand within ourselves, when we get these feelings, are they related to me and mine? Or are they related to Krishna? We can easily test ourselves. Now, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, he gives us a little deeper understanding of this. He said the reason that we have these feelings that kind of separates us from really expressing these feelings for Krishna fully is because we have this mental dialogue within ourselves that we tell ourselves constantly. And one of those that we tell ourselves is, I'm a failure, right? I'm a failure. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj says it's really important to understand the difference between failing in something and being a failure. In other words, we can do something and maybe we made a mistake, or we could do something and maybe it wasn't the best situation for us. It didn't nourish our bhakti. However, it's different when we just think we are a failure. We are ourselves a failure. So making a temporary mistake is far different from being a failure. So when you make a mistake, you might fall short of your goal, but you haven't failed because Krishna is always going to be there. See, Krishna loves us more than we even love ourselves. Krishna wants us out of pain more than we want to be out of pain. So one of the reasons that we usually think that we're a failure is because we want to get approval from other people. We're looking for other people to validate us, to make us the best that they think that we should be, right? Other people have expectations of us. And so when we don't meet those expectations, then we have the pain of thinking, oh, I'm such a failure. However, one of the ways that we can understand this obstacle is to really accept the fact, acknowledge that we're not perfect, that we're aspiring to become perfect. And yes, we might be, really aspiring to be on the stage of Nishta, to be steady. We want to move away from anartha nivritti, which is very difficult, as I said. However, when we're hiding from our weaknesses, then we will never overcome. We'll never overcome these things. When we just say, yeah, I'm not the body, I'm spiritual. Yes, we are. That is our identity. We are spirit souls. That is who we are. At the same time, we've been given this body for a reason. And we need to understand how this body works. You can say, yes, I know this body. I know I have a body. Yes, we do know we have a body, but do you know how you got it, how to take care of this body? Do you know physically what you need to do to take care of this body? Do you know emotionally what needs to be there? I have seen in ISKCON that in many situations, devotees are emotionally bereft. They have not very much understanding of who they are in terms of their emotions, their feelings, and they disrupt and make so many offenses simply because they do not understand what their emotional body is saying. As someone said, I can't quite remember, maybe it's Mahavishnu. I'm sure Bhakti Dhira Damodara supported this. You just can't jump over and become it and be in Krishna prema. It's you know, very few devotees can be like that. Very, very few. So this mood, this internal dialogue that we have of being a failure, we need to really explore that. We need to look at that. Why do I think I'm a failure? And Krishna loves me so much. Why do I have this mentality? And this mentality will inhibit us on the steady path of bhakti. We also, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj explains to us, our revered Guru Maharaj, he says we have this lack of self-esteem, self-worth. We have this victim mentality, right? This victim mentality makes me think I'm not good enough. I don't belong. Somebody don't care about me, right? Lack of self-esteem. Sometimes we get this from expectations from parents. Sometimes we get this expectation from caregivers as a child, peer pressure. We get this, you know, from friends or loved ones. They say things to us. People are very harsh in how they speak in these times. They don't speak very lovingly, very caringly. We get this from relationships, right? Sometimes we get broken hearts. And when we get broken hearts, then we're like, you know, if everybody ever experienced a divorce or a breakup or something, it's like we become, you know, more than sad. We become depressed, as I said. And then we think, oh, I'm not worth anything. No, I'm, you know, just this lack of self-worth. And self-worth, when I say self-worth, again, we want to learn the dynamics of these words. I am speaking about this conditioned body that we're working in this consciousness, that we're wanting to realize that our true identity is spirit soul. Yes, that is who we are. But what are the blocks from help that making me not understand that? In devotee associations, sometimes they can even make us feel worse in some cases, with some devotees. So let's be real about this. In general, a real devotee is loving, and a real devotee is nourishing, and a real devotee that knows that they are a spiritual being will enliven us and will help us to grow. But a devotee, an aspiring devotee that is still working with their material conditioning can devastate us in some cases. So we got to be conscious about that. Unresolved trauma. So many devotees have trauma from past lives, from this life, from being in the devotee, from being in the institution. They have trauma. Trauma is real. And devotees are suffering from loneliness. Loneliness. I mean, these are things that, you know, we think this is coming from our Guru Maharaj, you know. I remember once he told me about, I remember one time I had this experience of sharing with him about some friends that had become, I went to school with, and they become very famous. And they you know, most of my friends became famous in America. They became, they wrote movies, their movies became famous. They did many famous things, right? People think they're famous. And so once I went to my spiritual master and I was lamenting, and I said, all my friends are famous. And what am I doing? And he said to me two things that stayed with me. He said, you're famous in all the three worlds. And he said, and most of these friends you have, they go home at night and they cry in their pillows. Do you cry in your pillow? And at that time, I remember it was one of those times when I'm always happy in my devotional life because I see even things that seemingly not so healthy, I see them as opportunities for me to grow. So I'm always happy for that, because I'm always wanting to grow, even with the things that I know, like I might feel some pain from it, but I know, okay, this pain is coming so I could grow in my Krishna consciousness, right? And that's a mentality that needs to be there. And so when he told me that, do you cry in your pillow? And I was like, no. No, I don't think I've ever, other than when my spiritual master left the planet, I don't remember ever crying in my pillow. So, another one that we really want to look at in terms of our lack of self-worth is this internal shame, right? People can shame us. We can feel shame just because of somebody's words. And they might not even mean to hurt us. Sometimes they just, the way they speak, it brings up something that's already inside of us that we have not really looked at. Certain mental health conditions. Now, the number one disease, illness in America is mental health. And I'm guessing that's becoming all over the world. People are coming into devotional life. And if we're not trained to really address mental health, we can be very devastated with some of the people that are coming into our Krishna conscious Sangha. So this is something we need to be aware of. Some people need care, mental health care. Also societal and cultural messages. All of us have this from our different cultures that stays in the subtle body that we need to look at. So these are just some of the aspects, some of the things that His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj bring to our attention, because he cares. He cares about us. He wants us to experience this Krishna prema. In order to experience this Krishna prema, we got to be real. We got to be real with ourselves. So this mentality, ultimately, all these different mentalities, it usually comes from a lack of faith in Krishna. Usually, that's what it comes from. We don't really believe that Krishna is lovingly just waiting for us. We don't really believe that Krishna really just wants us to be happy. We don't really believe that. So we look into all these different places, and then we go back to the pain and we feel the pain, and then we decide, I don't want to pain anymore. Then we go for a little Krishna. Then when we get a little Krishna, then, we get a little bit happy. Then we go back to the pain again, like a ginger, right? So when these obstacles are removed, then we can become steady. Then that's when we can become steady. So the steadiness in devotional life is not so simple. It's not so simple, my dear devotees. And as Bhakti Dhira Maharaj shared, we need to become that association that will inspire not just ourselves, however, anyone that comes in our midst. We got to have it ourselves, though. We can't give what we don't have. We can speak the philosophy, and this philosophy is so beautiful. However, we need to live this philosophy. It's practical. It's very practical. So I will close, because I know I only had 30 minutes, with one last request from all of you. I noticed that you write a lot. So I want to give you a writing exercise for you to introspect within yourself. And I want you to start this writing exercise by saying I'm sorry, I'm just looking for my writing exercise. Okay, so the writing exercise is for you to understand first your relationship with yourself. Your relationship with yourself. Paramatma is always there. Paramatma is always guiding us. If you don't understand things about your physical, your emotional, your social body, then it's hard to connect with Paramatma. It's difficult, right? We get the mercy and we take the mercy from Guru. Yes, we are greedy for that mercy. And we do we do to the best that we can. The process of hearing and chanting and taking shelter. And yes, we do these things. At the same time, we continuously work on those anarthas that's there within us. So your writing exercise that I'm closing with is my relationship with myself is my relationship with myself. So what is it that you really think about yourself? And you can say, well, my relationship with myself is I'm a servant of Krishna. What does it mean to be a servant of Krishna? Who are you? Yeah, I'm a spirit soul. Then why? Why do you feel pain? Why are you experiencing these pain? What is it that you're attached to materially? Go within yourself, and then Paramatma will be there to guide you. I do this exercise myself, and I Madhusudan Prabhu, he said sad, and I was shocked when I did this exercise recently because I wanted to do it before speaking with all of you. And I said, my relationship with myself is loving, thoughtful, sensitive, sad, compassionate. So Madhusudan Prabhu, yes, that's sadness. It comes from something. And so I also had to look at that and see it as an opportunity for me to explore more. Why sometimes that sadness, what is it really? What is it? Because I don't go to sleep with crying in my pillow. So there's a sadness there somehow. And one of the sadnesses I came up with is I'm sad when devotees are not able to be caring and loving and compassionate with each other. That makes me sad. So I close with us really exploring this obstacle from a deeper perspective and exploring getting steady in Krishna consciousness from a bit deeper perspective. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
We did not invite you. Your children simply arranged for you to come and shower the nectar for us. And we have gotten it. So we very grateful and we thank you for giving us the shower of nectar. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you for your mercy. Your children are only acting according to your example. Thank you.
We're truly blessed, Mataji and Srila Gurudev, to be in the presence of few of the most empowered disciples of Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. And certainly from this session, very hopeful points that come up is, what I heard from Mataji, that we are not perfect, but we are aspiring to be perfect. And we have to have this really mindful conversations within, wherein we do not say that we are failures, which we declare as permanent, but we are failing and we will attempt to improve at those things. And further going ahead on how Mataji asked us and invited us to see that we should be more mindful of our all the emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. That is how we will not be duplicit or diplomatic in our dealings, and we can really further dwell deeper inside. And how Mataji also shared that we have to see all of these obstacles, and she said she was happy. How was she happy? She mentioned that she saw every obstacle as an opportunity to growth. And finally, this really reassuring statement that Krishna is lovingly waiting for us to be happy. So waiting for us to be happy. And like Srila Gurudev was mentioning earlier in the session, that we don't want to give up the royal path of devotion, so that the doors to the beautiful and the most confidential Krishna Prem open for us. So with prayers to our seniors present in the session, and also praying to Srila Prabhupada that we can really imbibe these teachings, we are moving on to the next part of our today's session. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining today. And Srila Gurudev, as he said, even in the previous session, you're like a mother to us. And we really felt that motherly warmth in your reassuring words. Thank you so much. Up next, we have a really wonderful performance coming up. A video rendition by Janita Mataji from Mauritius. She has performed a classical dance performance, and here you all would be seeing it up on your screens. Hare Krishna.
श्यामेरो चलाविने नदी मोहना चलाविने नदी तीर रे श्यामेरो चलाविने नदी तीर लाग्यो श्यामेरो चलाविने नदी तीर रे मोहना चलाविने नदी मैं जमुना जला जमुना जमुना मैं जमुना जल भारन जातरी मैं जमुना जल भारन जातरी सावरे न चीर क्यों मुकनी छिड़क्यो नीर छिड़क्यो नीर छिड़क्यो श्यामेरो चलाविने नदी तीर रे मोहना चलाविने नदी दधी बेचन जात वृंदावन मेरो श्याम मैं दधी बेचन जात वृंदावन सावरे न जट क्यों मेरो ची सावरे न झट क्यों मेरो चीर झटक्यो ओ चीर झटक्यो श्यामेरो चलाविने नदी तीर रे मोहना चलाविने नदी वन वन डोलू में श्याम न पावनी वनमाली 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 वन वन डोलू में श्याम न पावरी सावरो न जाने मेरी पीर सावरो न जाने मेरी पीर मार गयो जिया में मार गयो अरिरी मार गयो श्यामेरो चलाविने नदी तीर रे मोहना चलाविने नदी तीर रे
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Janita Mataji. This is such a graceful and a devotional offering of yours. And how practically you were showing, we can engage ourselves in Krishna's service all day long. And this beautiful song describing Sri Krishna's pastimes, sweet pastimes. So thank you so much for taking us through it. And with that, we're coming to the last section of our today's session. And if you've been attending the previous sessions, by now you know it's time for a drama on today's topic, a material attachment from which has been led by devotees from Mauritius. And His Grace Rasika Sidhu Prabhu and his team have very actively and wonderfully served for this drama. So I request all of your attention for this wonderful offering by devotees on the topic material attachment, which you will shortly see on your screens. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dearest devotees. I am pleased to present you a sketch that we all can relate. We all have one thing in common, problem. And how we can solve the problem, this you will know after watching this sketch. Without wasting more time, I present you three devotees, Bhaktin Yeshni, Bhaktin Pallavi, and Bhakta Heman. To encourage them, please like and share this video. Hare Krishna.
Hello everyone. I'm sure you're wondering who I am. Don't you know me? Ha! Let me introduce you to the famous me. I, Arjuna Malhotra, the most famous businessman, the one and only enjoyer of everything, including this land and people. Not only this, I am the controller of everything, the master of everyone. I am the boss.
Good morning, sir. May I come in? I have something very important for you. Please be seated.
Tell me quickly. Can't you see how busy I am?
Sir, we just have received an email from our investors informing they have withdrawn all their funds from the company because of corona pandemic.
What? Are you serious? Do you think my company can go bankrupt so easily? Huh. Yes, my sweetheart. Tell what? How come this news have come to you? What do you mean you're leaving? What about our children? Everything's gonna be fine, don't worry. Please don't leave. No, please don't leave. Oh God, where are you? What will I do now? How will I survive? I'm ruined.
Look in which situation Arjun is. See how shattered he is.
Oh my God!
Yes, I am God.
Ha! What? You and God? I have seen so many people dressed up like this in my life. Are you coming from Mahabharata audition? Security, throw this imposter outside. I'm stressed already.
My friends, your security guards are snoring outside. Just like when I was born, Kamsa soldier was put to sleep.
Oh, now you posing yourself as Krishna because of your disguise with these two feathers on your head? Also, Krishna is a Hindu god, so you were supposed to talk in Hindi. You the great you said. I'm good. You speak English also?
My friend, I can speak English, French, Hindi, Sanskrit, German, African, Brazilian, Zulu. I can speak all languages. I can even communicate with animals. I can even communicate with birds. Okay, let it be. Let me ask you a simple question. Mountain, the sun, Mother Earth, the sky, clouds, are they related to any religion?
Absolutely not.
So, if they are not related to any religion, then how can I, the creator of this universe, where everybody knows me as Jagannath, how can I be restrained to any religion?
Oh God, you are such a headache. I'm not interested in knowing who you are. I'm only concerned about my life and my business. Why do I suffer so much? Why do I am the only one facing so many problems? I had the most successful business ever. I even had the perfect wife. But at the end, everything got destroyed at once. Oh, now I know. You were spying on me. You were jealous of me?
Me? Envious of you? Let me recall you. I am Lakshmipati. How much wealth I possess, you can't even imagine. Then, why will I be envious of you? Matra sparshas tu konteya, sito shana sukadukada. My friend, in the Bhagavad Gita, I already gave this message. Happiness and distress will come on its own accord, just like summer and winter. You have all these degrees and qualifications. You have read so many books. But have you read the Bhagavad Gita?
Me? In Bhagavad Gita? No way. What's this? I have got no time for small things.
Unfortunate. So unfortunate. Unfortunately, this is why you're suffering. All the material things come to an end. The Bhagavad Gita is transcendental. Thus, it is the source of all transcendental pleasure. It is eternal. Once you have tasted that nectar, once you have tasted that bliss, all the material pleasure will become tasteless to you. This knowledge is called Bhakti Yoga.
Oh no! I don't want to hear anything. My focus is only why am I getting so many problems in my life?
Hold on, my friend. Let me give you a glimpse of the past, present, and future.
Oh my God! Stop this! I'm getting scared. I can see my past, my present, and even my future. Just by seeing your universal form, I have realized that, oh Krishna, you are the Supreme. I have realized that my pride and money are all temporary. My ego has brought me to downfall. Hey Krishna, I have realized the importance of reading the sacred Bhagavad Gita. Please accept my humble obeisances unto your lotus feet, and please forgive me for my sin and the offenses committed, for I was in complete ignorance.
No. Know that I'm your only true friend. All this knowledge is there in the Bhagavad Gita. Whenever you feel alone, Whenever you feel in distress, whenever you are in pain, open the Bhagavad Gita, read it, and apply it. You will see, you will find your life will transform for the better one.
Hare Krishna, thank you for watching this small sketch. We thank BDDS Swami Sangh's global event for giving us an opportunity to serve. So, if I will ask you a question, what is the solution to all our problem? It is to read the Bhagavad Gita. If you have liked the video, please like and
share.
Hare Krishna!
Hare Krishna, we were all so glued to the drama that it took us a few seconds to actually come back. So thank you so much to the wonderful team from Mauritius, and there's so many wonderful lessons actually we could draw, as in wherein this person, Mr. Arjun, actually confessed everything to Krishna. He saw everything, and that is when he could get the shelter. That is from where he opened his doors for happiness, and how beautifully the devotees encouraged us to read Bhagavad Gita. So thank you so much, dear devotees, for putting up so many wonderful efforts to put up this beautiful program to actually practically show us how we could go ahead in getting over our material attachments. And we're going to continue this beautiful showers coming up on our day 3, which is the last day, but having 2 sessions. So before we go on to that, we would like to thank our beloved spiritual master, who is so expertly engaging all of us in these wonderful services. And maybe sometimes we're not even aware, but we are learning so much from it. We are growing together. And we're very grateful to you, Srila Gurudev, for giving us this platform for self-improvement and also learning ourselves. And also thanking Rajalila Mataji for her very sweet and loving presence today. Thank you so much, Mataji. And to the entire team of devotees who have worked so beautifully and lovingly to put up this show. Very lovingly. Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev. Thank you so much, Mataji. And with this, we are going to the last section of our program, which is going through the schedule for tomorrow. So much more nectar awaits you. We continue to see on the causes of distress, and the 4th one being envy. We get to hear from Srila Gurudev, His Holiness Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj. So dear devotees, you can join at 12:30 Mauritian time or 2 p.m. IST. You can find the further details on Srila Gurudev's official Facebook handle, which is BDD Swami Media. Next, we go on to our activity time. So just like we had the debate today and some brainstorming this morning, we are waiting some really interesting activity tomorrow, which is at 1:45 Mauritian time. Further, we go to the talk 2 by His Grace Ekavira Prabhu on the topic doubts. And this goes in at 2 p.m. Mauritian time. And in the end, we'll be having again a very sweet and wonderful drama by devotees at 2:55 Mauritian time. That is all about session 4 tomorrow. So please log in to get drenched in this wonderful nectar of Madhurya Kadambini. Thank you so much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
শুদ্ধ ভকত চরণ রেণু শুদ্ধ ভকত চরণ রেণু ভজনয়নুকূল ভকত সেবা কারণ মাধব তিথি ভক্তি জননী যতনে পালন অনুকূল